relax. This is TOFOP. I'm Charlie Clausen.
I'm Will Anderson. Hello and thank you for watching.
A few weeks ago, maybe about 5 or 6 weeks ago, you talked about your love of your Stanley Cup.
Got it here, right with me. Travel with it. We're in Sydney today.
Yeah.
And I have my Stanley Cup that I was last night. I was doing a show. I mean, look, that is perennial. Last night when we were recording this, but also probably last night when you're listening to this, I was
I've
also
seen your
doing
schedule.
a show. Yeah. So, but Mike, our producer, Mike the Third, Firewater and Mike. Came to the show that I did last night, and he can testify.
Have you?
I did indeed.
I saw it up there. Looked
my Stanley
great.
Cup
Having
up
a
there
sip
on stage. Wielded it on stage a couple of times. Hugged it to my body occasionally.
Hugging it. The Stanley Cup had its own chair.
It does. The Stanley Cup has its own chair. And sometimes during the show, I will literally hold it by the handle in one hand and then I'll wrap my other arm lovingly around it. And I will just hold on to it while I'm talking in the show because it's like a safety blanket. It's like my blankie.
It's the affectation, like, for a while, hip-hop rappers would have like goblets, jewel-encrusted goblets. Like, this is your little affectation.
Well, I was saying it to Heath Franklin, who people know, Chopper. So I was talking to him about it and he was commenting on it and I said, I love it because it does give me that old sort of like vibe of a tankard or whatever, or a King's Court, or like smash it against each other. And he goes, it comforts you because it reminds you of being a child's sippy cup. And I was like, yes, I also do know that.
Big dumb cup.
I love my mum.
So, because you did a great sales pitch on it when we first talked about it, and then I was like, well, maybe I'll get
Imagine if I end up on Media Watch just because I've been too, like I said, I paid for it.
Oh, sorry, I just had a little bit, put a pin in that for 1 second. I did mean to ask you this off air, but let's do it now. Muji,
Why not?
Muji got in contact with us last year and we're like, hey guys, like, we've heard you said some nice things about the show. We'd like to send the boys a care package. Where is it?
Oh, they don't care. There was no care package.
They did, right? I'm not imagining that. Muji said, what are the boys' sizes? We'll send them some stuff.
So
we asked for money first.
And I said also, I can't get stuff.
You said no. But, so now I'm in the uncomfortable position of asking, where is the free stuff that you offered? That's what I'm hearing.
Where is it?
Where's
Muji? My free Muji?
You promised. Don't be come on, Muji. We've said nothing but positive things about you. I'm not even asking for any free stuff.
Yeah.
I can't take free stuff. I work for the ABC. If I am going to endorse something, it has to be something that I personally purchased myself. So I can't endorse Muji if you're sending free Muji. But Charlie.
Yeah, I'll take whatever. I love a fucking freebie.
Yes.
My understanding was it was a Muji voucher.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take it. I'll take a Muji voucher.
A Muji voucher's great.
I got nothing arrived for me. I'm more of a Moochie than a Muji.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's time to go at the Muji. Like, we should reboot At the Movies, but it's about Muji.
It's just me going
it's
to
just
Muji.
an in-store, like,
being denied things.
A different product.
But back to the Stanley Cup. So after I was
Any
like,
letters?
you inspired me. Lots of people. Yeah, a lot of people are into it. There's a lot of people. There's someone.
There's some detractors.
I think someone actually sent an email about an eco brand, like another version, which they believe is better for the environment.
Sure. Whatever.
But, so I got excited because I mentioned that Gemma, she was quite keen on a Stanley Cup as well. And I said, well, we'll go it like a ringing endorsement. So maybe we'll go out and we'll get a couple, we'll get a couple of Muji. We'll get a couple on the brain.
Muji made one. Now, Muji made, if it was a Muji Cup,
I'd have 3.
Yeah.
But then I started thinking about, am I going to look like a Johnny come lately? Am I going to look like I'm living in your shadow, that I've got, like, if we were both sitting here and suddenly I walked in with my Stanley Cup, like it's a bit single white female of me, you know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, because I make a conscious decision, I like wearing black.
Yes.
But when I know we're recording, I make a conscious decision to bring in clothes that are the opposite of you. So there is a point of difference when people are watching this on Patreon.
What if there wasn't, though?
What if I just started dressing exactly like you? Well, when we do
what's that? Those twins that are popular on the internet. Again, I'm so out of
the Island Boy twins, the guys with the big tattoos and the froze.
They've got no, the ones I'm thinking of. I think I don't know, by the way. So I'm not in touch with popular culture enough to understand like what these things are. But you see them like in the periphery of your vision, and you're like, "What's that?" They seem to be maybe twins or brothers who are young men. They've got big blonde haircuts, and they're called the Da Vinci twins or Da Winkle twins or Da Vinci twins.
Winklevoss, they invented Facebook.
Not the Winklevoss twins, no, not the Facebook ones. They
don't know who these people are.
No, I don't know.
Can you look up Da
either.
Vinci or Da Vinci or Da Winklevoss?
I'm looking it up. You got any other info on this?
They were like two blonde
they
guys,
Swedish?
twins. I mean, they look like they might be
And what are
Swedish.
they doing?
What
I
country?
don't know what they're up to.
Oh, here we go.
Hang on.
Remembering
Oh, what have we
Da
got here?
Vinci?
Oh, Da Vinci, maybe. What's Da Vinci?
They've got hair that goes straight up.
Yeah. All right.
I have
yeah.
no idea what
okay.
you're talking about. I'm going to have to look it up
Da
myself
Vinci.
on the in-studio
Okay, let's
computer.
have a look at Da
Unless you
Vinci.
can,
Okay, here we
put it
go.
up on a screen.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, here we go. Now, I can put this up on the screen. Hold
Okay,
on.
good.
Okay.
Just give me 1 sec.
All
Look at
right.
this, please, state of the art.
okay.
mate.
Here we
Let's
go.
have a
What
look at
screen
this.
would you-
Like one of those screens.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
Here we go. Let's
Which
go
screens are
behind.
gonna be on?
I don't know.
Okay, it's fine.
Hold on.
Where's it going to happen?
You guys pick a
where's it
screen.
gonna be?
and
Do
then
the
I'll-
big one so we can both.
I've
look at
already
it.
picked
Yeah.
one, but you pick one. It's like the
Okay.
window in Play School.
Oh, okay. I picked the one behind Charlie because that's the one I'll be able to see.
I picked the one behind Will, but I thought the fairest one.
It's the one.
God
It's the
damn
one behind you. Oh, yeah, that's them. That's exactly who I'm thinking of.
I've never seen these guys in my life.
Oh, okay. So they're not called Da Vinci. What are they?
Or Voros.
The,
Da Vinci.
the Voros twins
but
or something.
but hold on. This Da Vinci. What
But
does
they
it
say
mean?
Da Vinci.
Right.
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci Voros twins. So what is this? Let's
In
find out
2016,
about
the
this.
pair posted
Yeah.
their audition for the WWE Professional
WE?
Wrestling
How do I not know
reality
these guys
television
are?
series.
Tough Enough.
Oh, so it's a YouTube.
Okay,
YouTube
so they,
video?
yeah, so they did it like, I mean, you remember Tough Enough, right? It was
Yes. It's like a reality show to
Yeah.
find new wrestlers.
it was the what's the rapping one? The one that you hustle and flow.
yeah.
It was the hustle and flow of the WWE,
That's right. In fact,
basically.
The Miz is probably the most famous graduate from Tough Enough. He was a Tough
Okay,
Enough
so
contestant.
these twins, like they are, I've seen them all over the place on the internet recently, and I don't know what.
I've never seen these guys.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, but the.
What's up, you guys? It's Sean Ross Sapp here with a couple. You guys have the same shirts on right now. I mean, you guys have really, you guys have exploded over the past several months specifically. I mean, you guys are all over the place. I mean, I even saw an interview you all did with.
Yeah, crazy. Are you Hungarian?
I am not Hungarian at all. Actually, I am Appalachian mutt. I am just pure staying busy during.
But it is super hard because wrestling is a huge focus on our lives for the last 6-7 years. So, and we made YouTube videos before wrestling, and we know how to edit and things like that. It's something we always liked. But then when wrestling kind of shut down, we're like, let's bring it back, bring out the content. So it was like.
They are unnervingly identical.
Yeah. Right, that was what I was like, what's going on here? What's this about?
And they have a weird mannerism where their
Yeah.
heads kind of, I don't know if it's like a.
But, so the only little bits of content I've seen seem to be them, yes, doing online stuff where they're very positive. They seem quite, the two of them, wishing people good, fortune or whatever it might be. But I don't know enough about it to understand
Okay.
what's going on.
The Da Vincis.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that, and I
No.
don't think I need to know anything more.
I'm going to try to crack the Da Vinci code.
Nice. Where are we? What's going on? This is TOFOP.
Stanley Cup.
Well, no, I think we're done.
Oh,
with
we're
that.
done with that, are
Well, I
we?
was just saying, I talked myself out of getting one because I'm like, I don't want to be.
You don't want to be like me. Oh, so
copycat.
this is what I was going to say. Well, maybe we should lean into the idea of
You and I become the Da Vincis.
we drink,
Char-
dress,
Charwill.
not like that. But I'm just saying, we start to kind of instead of looking like a team. Wearing a
Yeah.
uniform.
Yeah.
Like a band. I went and saw PJ Harvey recently.
Yep.
And all the band weren't wearing the same thing,
But
they were wearing something that was
variations of-
it looked like if it was a fashion line, they were all from the same
This is
fashion
why
line.
we are going to
Have
release
our own fashion line.
Everyone relax
Yes,
wear.
okay.
Everyone relax wear. You and I will just be in and think about it. We'll just be in comfortable hoodies.
Mm-hmm.
And I did I tell you about this? I talked about it in the live stream, and I was putting it out to the people listening, saying, "Hey, what do you think of this? Would you buy this?" And everyone was very positive about it. And then this one guy said, "I'm actually part of a sewing group right now." And he's gone, there's actually a big online community of people who just love sewing, and it's kind of like this lost art form and stuff. And he said, if you wanted to, if you came up with a design or a blueprint for I don't know what it's called in fashion, but basically the design, he said, I'm quite happy to put this out to a community group and we could create you some prototypes of your Everyone Relax wear. And then I was like, that seems like a cool
pattern, I believe it would be called.
Yeah,
right?
a pattern, right? And I thought that's actually kind of a cool way to bring everyone in on this. Like if we sort of put it out like, because, we're talking about, let's not make this an exploitive brand. Let's make this like a sustainable brand that's kind of sourced ethically and made as ethically as possible. And I was like, I like the idea of, this being made by people who love making clothes. This idea that, because I was saying to him, is it like, give me a demographic. And he's like, it's not just like retirees or old ladies or anything like that. It's like a whole mix of people who just love sewing, but there would be genuinely handcrafted material, which I think is great for the prototype. I don't know what would happen once we have to up production, get it like mass produce, like we sack them. But I do like
once we're White Fox,
small batches of Everyone Relax wear. But I was like, that seems like a cool thing to do. I'm not going to let this go. I think the Everyone Relax wear has legs.
I mean, imagine if we become a leisure wear company instead of like that. It just has a podcast associated with it.
Yeah,
but we're actually like a leisure wear brand.
But we've got the marketing thing tied up. It's just like we need to have a product to associate with it. I mean, that's what kind of most podcasts generally are these days.
Yes, we need our Prime energy drink.
Yes.
Right? We need something that we're actually leveraging that is the thing that is making the money. And we need a meme coin.
And I think, but also like Everyone Relax wear makes
we need
sense.
to do a rug pull with a meme coin and then leave podcasting.
Because we can then, I don't have to think about what I'm wearing. I'll just be wearing our Everyone Relax
our uniform.
Wear. Yeah, every time we record, it's a new thing. And
I think that's what we've got to start with.
And it's
we've got to start with
what did you call it? Not relax wear.
Leisure wear.
Leisure wear.
So I think that we've got to start with, yes, a uniform that we wear for the podcast. So, right? Like made
tracksuit pants, hoodies.
Yes. So we've got to design. Firstly, we've got to work out what the design is, what we want the pieces of it to be. Then we need to get it constructed so that we have the uniform. Yeah. And then we have to wear them on the podcast as the uniform of the podcast. Yeah. And get some momentum going to see if people like
what we're doing, right? Yeah. And we make it unisex so anyone can wear it.
Of course.
And just a few key items.
Everyone relax.
Everyone.
It's for everyone, right?
To relax.
Who's your target market? Everyone. And what do you want them to do? Relax. Right?
Who doesn't want to relax?
Who doesn't want to relax?
Can you imagine if that's like after 15 years we finally work out how to make this profitable?
We go the Lotus Biscoff route.
That's what I'm saying.
We just keep it very simple.
All the clues have been there the whole time. We just have to pick up. You were saying literally in that Biscoff episode, you're like, I love a company that just focuses on what they do really well. Maybe
so
podcasting is not what we do really well.
But the lesson you've learned is we should be doing something else, something that neither of us have any qualifications in. That should be our next big pivot.
Now, in that same Stanley Cup episode, we talked about running a competition. At first, I suggested we give away your Stanley Cup.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And you said no. And then Mike suggested we buy a Stanley Cup, and I said we can't afford that. But then, Mike, you've come up with another solution.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So at the SCA offices, not only do we have we drink out
Mason
of jars.
jars.
Yeah. For those of you watching, you can see I'm literally. This is not a joke. I'm drinking out of a jar. There's actually like screw ridges that I have to put my lips over to take a sip of water.
I think those jars have been partially responsible for my Stanley Cup push, by the way, because I feel like I was so sick of spilling water all over I'd be doing episodes of Philosophy and it'd look like the Flashdance film clip because I'm just splashing water all over myself. So what do you think happens after we die?
Just drooling.
So not only do we have drink out of mason jars, but we have a table in this office building where when people get free stuff, shows get free stuff sent to them all the time.
That they don't want, yes.
They don't want. And it ends up on this free table.
Yeah.
It's not labeled. Everyone just knows this is the table.
This is the free
table. Anything on
table.
there, don't put your hat down on that table because someone's going to take it.
That's right.
So shortly after that episode was recorded, I found something on that table that I thought we might be able to give away. Charlie, it's in the bag in front of you if you want to pull that out.
Interesting.
And have a look at it.
That's very good. I like this. So have you seen what's in here, Charlie?
No,
this is great. So this is a prize. So Charlie's going to put his hand in a bag. It'd be great if there was like a live wild animal.
I mean, are they sponsors of the show? Do I have to hide the brand?
No.
I think we can... You know what?
That's fine.
Let's give it a go. I'm ready. I'm ready.
It's a Red Rooster.
Yeah. What have Red Rooster got up to here?
Not a Stanley Cup, but a cheap ass.
We couldn't do the Stanley Cup, but we've got a cup.
It's a cup that has the same tapered.
It does not.
Bottom. Well, not completely tapered.
No.
But you can fit that in your drink holder.
Kind of.
Yeah, it looks more like a giant butt plug.
So you could definitely fit it in your butt. But the problem with this, if you're going to try to fit it in your butt, is it doesn't have a firm base. See, the thing about the Stanley Cup is it has a nice narrow bottom that you could fit in your butt, but then the rest of the Stanley Cup would act as a butt plug. You see, if you are going to be someone is sticking things up your butt, and I have some recent experience of this, not because I've been sticking things up my butt, because I have been doing my improvised shows. And it turns out that if you have an emergency doctor, nurse, whatever, the best stories that they have is people who've come in with various things up their butt. Yes. And so you get to hear what the things... Apparently there is a particular lamp that is currently being sold at either IKEA or Target that has become
Fits in the rectum.
It's three sort of like... kind of baubles or something, and like that one apparently, but doesn't have a big base,
right?
And so that's it's going up, and people can't out. You got to have so people are like walking into emergency with a cord dangling out of their butt.
So the idea is, Mike, we are going to give this once.
Let's just do a side by side first between the two. So we've got the Red Rooster. It's red. Of course.
Do you want to know the key features?
Yeah, tell us what they say the key features are here.
Holds cold drinks only. So it's not thermal.
So it's not that already.
That's thermal.
No.
It's got a reusable straw.
It does. Well, yeah, pretty lightweight though. It's not. It's definitely not as thick as the straw.
Snug fit lid.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
BPA free acrylic. That's the outer layer.
Well, that's good.
It's double walled, but not insulated. Matte finish.
Yeah.
It fits most cup holders.
Most the cup holders.
Which is not a huge vote of compliment.
Because it also doesn't have that like smaller base and then the thicker top. It has like, it's just graduated up.
That's right.
And there's no handle. This is the biggest problem of all.
Yeah.
This is like you've gone to the movies you've got like a giant soft drink at the movies. This is the style.
I was going to ask you though, because I've seen some knockoff Stanley Cups that have that without the handle.
Yeah.
And what's your vibe on
I mean,
that?
the Stanley Cup has a version without the handle. You can purchase the Stanley without the handle, but what are you doing?
I don't know. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Because you can get one with a big, chunky handle. The safety I feel in my life, I don't know if I mentioned this last time,
you did.
But I feel safe.
You can bash back on the street.
I walk late at night. And
because you mentioned it at the time. I was like, please don't do that.
I'm not worried anymore about being out at night. And like I'm slow. I can use this as a weapon, but I can't use this. I can't fight off crime with a Red Rooster.
Anyway, to win this Red Rooster,
sorry, I forgot we were giving it
this piece of shit.
No, still good for free.
Well, we could sign it or something, right? Would that make it more appealing to people or less appealing?
What I like about the branding on it is that they haven't gone too heavy on it looking like it's Red Rooster. They got the RR,
the
backwards RR, but that's.
I'm amazed Red Rooster still exist.
Can I say this, by the way, Red Rooster? If you I'm not like I was about to say, I don't know much about marketing and advertising, but then I realised I've literally been hosting a show about marketing and advertising for 17 years. But I've picked up some things along the way, and here's a bit of a tip to you.
Yeah.
At the moment, the RR is face to face. 69 that and get some like online, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Because you get 69 the RRs.
Yeah.
Just a little bit edgy, a bit more modern.
Yeah.
You know, KFC's gone with that whole, modern branding and it's all like, it's all abbreviations and it's all like I've had a big night out and I'm fine. Why doesn't Red Rooster have the two R's 69ing each other?
Do you remember that jingle from the 80s?
$69 all you could eat at Red Roosters.
Do you remember Aussie Sundays where the chook was worth the wait? Well, Red Rooster does, so we cook it right to make it Sunday every day. Australia, your chicken is ready. Remember this? Australia.
Was this a Red Rooster?
Ready right now. Australia, your chicken is ready. A red, ready, red, a red, ready, red rooster. You don't remember that?
So I remember, and I think we might have talked about this before.
Aussie Sundays, when your mum would start to cook,
wow.
You could smell the sweet aroma.
I don't remember this.
Wow.
True blue Aussie chook.
Is this John Williamson?
Wow.
Remember how
Mojo.
you used to
Or it's a Mojo. This was the famous jingle advertising agency who did Come On Aussie, Come On, and all the famous ones.
Every day. Australia. Your chicken is ready. Australia. Ready right now.
Australia.
Wow.
Your chicken is ready. Red rooster. Australia.
Oh, keep going. Let's take it up.
Ready right now.
Wow.
Australia. Your
Come on.
chicken is ready.
Red rooster. Oh, wow. I don't remember
That's
that.
different to how I remember it.
The only one I remember is the chicken croissant one. Do you remember that one?
No.
Are you ready? Ready for Red Rooster's chicken croissant. Chicken and cheese, piled high to please. Served all on a something. Are you ready? Ready.
Play after this ad.
I was going to say, it was like,
Oh, actually, you ready? The ad for that was KFC. How's that for marketing?
well done, KFC. That's right.
Ready. Bumper Red Rooster's chicken croissants. Am I ever? Chicken and cheese croissant to please, cooked right and ready to munch. Voila. Are you ready? Ready. Bumper Red Rooster's chicken croissant. Magnifique. Chicken barbecue to please, smothered in cheese, piled high on a fresh. Who loves the cheese? Ready. Red Rooster's chicken croissant. Australia, your croissants are ready. Chicken and cheese, piled high, please. Red Rooster's chicken croissants.
That looks disgusting.
Hey, that's fucking off. I do like the old logo though. The actual old school Red Rooster logo is heaps better than the 69 or soon
Well,
to be 69.
soon to be 69.
Yeah.
They could have a $6.90 range. It's like it's fun. Because they always used to call it Red Rooter anyway, right?
Yeah, someone would steal the S.
So like lean into that.
Yeah.
Even on with this company with the Go On Edgy thing, just this week, Hit FM rebranded as like Today FM, Today AF.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, this week.
Today AF.
Today is
AF.
fuck, man.
Yeah. Mate, we are today as fuck. And you know what
does
I
it
love
even
about
mean?
that?
Mindfulness? Today
That
is
will
fuck?
absolutely never age badly. That will always be fresh and of the zeitgeist. And that's why Charlie and I are here to announce our Brat winter.
Brought to you by Stanley Cup from 4 years ago.
So we have to work out. Someone's going to win this Red Rooter mug.
Yeah.
What's the criteria?
yeah.
Are we doing it random?
Send us an get in touch with us between now and the next time we record.
to everyone-
I mean, this is an
Relax.
email. Maybe we can try to get a prize for every email. Is that too much?
I think
Because
it's
like
too-
not for every
Oh,
email.
for
I mean,
every
for one
email
because
episode.
every.
How much? Have you got stuff
There's
on
not
the
that
table?
much stuff on the table.
I reckon
This was just for context. This was the best thing on the table.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying there would be good stuff. I'm just saying
Win
this was
stuff
a
from
good-
our desk.
I like a little bit of like because this is the letters
It's
episode.
incentive, yeah.
I like there being a bit of structure. We had a little chat about the prize, and then we go into the letters, and we kind of decide which is the best letter. Anyway, we'll probably forget in classic TOFOP
Yeah.
style, but if we don't, then maybe that's something we can do.
But are we doing just a random letter that someone says, "Hey, I want the mug," or are we making them jump through hoops? Like,
No.
tell us the
No hoops.
in one
It'll
sentence.
be
more.
best-
Any letter about anything.
Just best
random.
correspondence, whatever we
Well,
decide
how,
our best.
But how are we going to pick
Sorry,
it?
it's got
We'll
to be a
just
game
pick
of
it.
chance. It has to be.
Yeah.
There's rules around this.
Oh.
It's a game of chance, or you have to set out the criteria. We don't have time to set out the criteria. Let's go down the chance avenue. for
Okay.
my
Okay,
chance
but
sake.
Yeah.
so we get the
All right.
entries in, and then what I send
we
you the
just
name,
pick
and you pull them out of the hat.
Any correspondence. Just
Any correspondence.
By any
There's just a
email.
prize.
But how do we
about
pick the?
anything.
But how do we pick the correspondent?
I
By
will-
chance. By chance is what
By
Mike
chance.
is saying. By
So when I
chance.
said
how?
in a hat,
By
in a
chance,
hat,
he's
I
just
meant
gonna
in a
pick it.
hat. I'm going to get
Literally
a
in a
hat.
hat.
I'm going
Yes.
to cut out the names, and you're going to pick
Yeah.
it.
He's going to get the hat from the table where he got the mug.
He's not going to, but he's saying all this for legal reasons. It is a game of chance.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
There's going to be no actual hat, but this is a game of chance.
Let's dip.
Thank you.
Let's dip into the mailbag. It is our traditionally we at the end of the bulk record we like to dip into the mailbag. Lots of mail has been building up over the last couple of months and weeks. This is from someone who calls themselves Peter.
Okay.
Cake, kids, and ethics.
Cake, kids, and ethics. Okay.
Hey guys, I love the episodes, have for many years and at times with two young kids, one being slightly older than Iona. Sorry about the spelling, Charlie. No, you spelt it exactly correctly. I'm enjoying listening to your growth.
He was just sorry about it.
Sorry that I'm a father. I'm enjoying listening to your growth with me as a father, Charlie, and a middle-aged man questioning the point of everything while learning about himself, Will. So, okay, so
You're a father.
You're a father and you're a middle-aged man questioning everything.
And I'm a middle-aged man
questioning
everything.
Yeah.
ABC iView, if you could check that out. Trying to get those iView numbers up, so if you could really watch it, question everything.
Now to the point of my email. Oh, sorry, I just got some, I think that's some
residual cookie.
Biscoff on the last step.
You're choking?
To the point of this email. Ethically, we have tried to keep our kids eating healthy at home, as well as you, Charlie. Okay. But I believe ethically, kids need to enjoy the odd treat because everything in moderation, even cake, is important. Yes. Keep doing your stuff, boys. Great that you now have ads.
Yeah.
But if you don't want if you don't want to listen to the ads, it's one way
around
is
fine.
That. Yeah, great way around that.
Yeah, patreon.com/everyone-relax, and there's ad-free episodes there as well as heaps of bonus content.
Even though they have nothing to do with me, it ensures the analytics with me. I listen to make sure your analytics pick it up. Thank you very much.
We appreciate that too.
Yeah, look, as far as like Iona's, she eats pretty healthy. And we're lucky. She's not a fussy eater. A lot of friends I know, their kids are fussy eaters, will only eat like 3 things. She eats most things, but also you just got to balance it out. Like kids burn so much fucking energy. I have no problem if I pick her up from school if she wants to get an icy bowl. If she's had a big day, it's like that's fine, no problem. I think where it gets kind of iffy is if that's all they're fucking eating, and that's the way I grew up. I mean, my mum had a zillion kids, and so I was saying to Jem the other day, my only 2 memories of meals growing up was either meatloaf or pasta, like bulk. Whatever could be cooked in bulk, very zero, like low nutritional value in those things, but filling, I think was the answer. Whereas Iona's an only child, so she gets fucking like very good food at home. But for my own personal sake, I've taken your words to heart, and now when I'm treating myself, it's just, I'll just get the thing. Whatever I want to eat, I'll just eat that.
Just get a nice thing.
As a treat. As a treat. I mean, the hotel I checked into yesterday, they had like a little platter of treats.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'll only eat one of those. I ate all of them. I ate the whole thing. I even ate the icing that they wrote welcome in on the plate.
I got to say, when I was in Adelaide a month ago, when I was in Adelaide doing the Adelaide Fringe, like there are 3 Hague's chocolates. I love Hague's chocolate so much. And I have this is one of those things that like, of course I am kind of joking, but there is a part of my brain that believes that it is true. I don't believe they are sending the best Hague's across the border. I believe there's some reason when you have Hague's, it tastes better there.
It's when you have Guinness in Ireland, it tastes
better. Yeah. And I honestly think that like they have better range there. I can't prove any of this, by the way. This is just my vibe.
Yeah.
But there are 3 within the CBD.
Did you start drooling because you were thinking about chocolates?
My mouth.
Will literally wiped his mouth.
My mouth literally started producing more saliva because I was
the psychosomatic response.
Chocolate. It started watering. And not even just a little bit. That was the equivalent of a teenager's spontaneous erection. What just happened to me was like my body produced liquid at a rate, just me thinking
involuntarily
about chocolate. It's still happening. It won't stop.
Wow.
So there's 3 within the CBD that are within walking distance of each other. I discovered while I was in Adelaide that there were 2 separate shifts during a day at the Hague's. And so technically you could make 6 separate visits to the Hague's during the day and not encounter anybody who would not know that it was your first visit to the Hague's. Right. And then just walk in between the 3 in the way. And so what I would do some days is that I would literally go on my walk, the least healthy walk of all time. I would go on a walk and I'd start at one Hague's, have a little thing. Because the other thing that I worked out is they give you the same amount of free sample regardless of the amount of chocolate you purchase. So if you just buy like a small amount of chocolate and you get the free sample, then you go to the next place, you get a small amount of chocolate and the free sample, you're gaming the system.
Yeah. You're like one of those fucking drug addicts who'd go to one chemist for the pseudoephedrine and then go to another one for some more pseudoephedrine.
No paper trail. You can't beat me down.
You're the guy doing the 30-day free gym membership, going gym to gym.
Yeah.
I was scamming the system. Sometimes they give you the chocolate without a purchase. My mouth is dry. And so I just tried anyway, whatever.
Let's do another mini production meeting on air.
All right.
We played that episode, The Great Lobster Heist, where we got AI to summarize an episode of TOFOP. And we floated the idea of, maybe we should comment on the AI commenting on that. The Dura sent us a message saying, please, God, do that. I loved it so much in the episode. I want to hear more of it. It was amazing. I almost spit up laughing. What do you think? Do we want to do another AI maybe as a one-off or something like that?
As a one-off.
Okay.
Not going to get in the habit, but as a one-off, yes, I'm happy to do another one-off.
Okay. All right. This next bit of...
And, if it becomes really popular, then I guess we'll get in the habit. But let's just say a one-off.
Okay. Let's not overcommit. This is from...
We'll do a small batch.
We'll just do a small batch. That's the new attitude, small batch.
This is from Jesse. The subject is icing.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, listening to EP more TOFOP than TOFOP. You were chatting about icing, the overly sweet one, Charlie made called American buttercream. Oh, that's right. I was complaining about the cake.
That is an overly sweet icing.
Yeah, there's much better icing choices. Have a crack at a Swiss meringue icing for a silky smooth. Just can we get a towel in for Will as I describe this icing?
Mop this up.
There's a much better icing choice to have a crack at. Swiss meringue icing for silky smooth, less sweet buttercream or wiped ganache. Oh, yeah. That sounds gross.
I'll have a
Don't wipe your ganache in front of me.
I think my ganache is leaking. That's the problem.
The fourth episode in a bulk recorder is always particularly unhinged. With the ganache.
Plus, we had a fire alarm today, and we're both a bit tired. This has been... Anyway.
With ganache, you can add any chocolate. Darker chocolate suits people who don't like overly sweet things. Yes. For coffee lovers, add some good quality dry instant coffee while you whip it. You can thank me later. With the Swiss meringue buttercream, if you like, you can try adding salted caramel as well. I used to have a cake business, but now I only do cake competitions. Entering into a giant class this week because, well, I'm nuts. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Entering into a giant class? Starting school.
Starting school, yeah, sounds like. Maybe.
Okay, but thank you for the icing tips. To be honest, I make a simple icing. When I bake at home, I just think like a little bit of butter, a little bit of sugar, not too much. Don't go crazy with the butter icing.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I don't support it or endorse it, but I understand it.
This is from a future doctor.
Okay.
Hi, Will and Charlie. Long-standing.
By the way, our record of having a lot of fans who are in the medical community, obviously I've been doing my improvised shows. I'm talking to a lot of people in the audience. I would say, I don't know if this translates into but I would say definitely I can see the influence. Lots of medical professionals who are in the audience, a lot of education sector, a lot of engineers. That's what. So I wonder if we've translated to engineers out there. If you're an engineer who listens
to STEM, we're like the STEM podcast.
I would like to know if. Do I need to get the engineers from my stand-up shows into the podcast? Or are you already here but not making yourself known?
Yeah, right. Okay, a long-standing fan here. I started listening to TOFOP as a young stay-at-home mum around a decade ago. And in that time, I've studied a couple of diplomas, worked in cafes, early childhood education, began a science degree, and then changed to a nutrition degree. Now, finally this year, I'm about to start a medical degree.
Oh, wow.
So I'm happy to inform you both that in 5 years, you'll have another doctor to add to the tally of medical professionals who are fans of TOFOP. I'm assuming the pod will still be chugging along in 5 years' time, hopefully. As someone who's interested and has some education in nutrition, I always enjoy the discussions you have around biscuits, treats, and food in general. I wanted to share some potentially unwarranted advice with Charlie, who seems a little prone to having an all-or-nothing relationship with food. That is true. Food doesn't have to be all healthy or all unhealthy. Many of the meals and treats I have made for my family contain both nutritious ingredients as well as more indulgent things, i.e. butter and sugar. For example, I just enjoyed a delicious black bean chocolate cake. Ugh, I've made one of those. They suck. I made I made this earlier, which tastes like...
You sounded like me then.
Yeah. No, they're no good. I've tried the black bean cookies. I tried the black bean cakes. It tastes like real cake thanks to the butter and sugar, but also contained a decent amount of protein, fiber, and micronutrients thanks to beans, eggs, and cacao powder. I try to think, what can I add to this meal rather than what should I cut out? That, I think, is good advice.
Yeah.
So I was talking about... I was making these.
You're making like a pasta sauce. You add some extra broccoli or peas or whatever it is, and then suddenly, yeah.
And there's a really good guy I follow on Instagram. I think he's called the nutrition chef or something like that, or the fitness chef. And he's constantly doing these examples of like, there's no such thing as good food and bad food. It's just the quantities you eat that food in. And he'll say, for instance, like a slice of toast with avocado has more calories in it than 6 Oreos, but it's the nutrition density that you are that you're balancing out. And he said it doesn't really, if the majority of what you eat is good, there's no good food or bad food, but if the majority of your food has nutritional value, then you can account. It's like if you have I remember my personal trainer saying to me, if you have like an old steam engine, like a train, and you're throwing logs on the fire and it's all pure wood, it's going to fire the engine. And then you occasionally throw a garbage bag in there. It's fine. As long as the engine is going and running well on the wood, you can throw some garbage in there occasionally.
I had something that I didn't realize that I was going to have to, so doing these improvised shows, it's a bit different to what I've normally done. And they make me more tired than usual, but also incredibly hungry post-show. Like I really feel like whatever it is using my brain has a calorie deficit, and I was eating really bad snack food like every night after the show because there was nothing else available. And so I had to actually just put in place that idea of going, let's just have something healthier. Let's not, like, you're going to eat after the show. That's fine if you're going to be hungry, but just make it something a little bit healthier.
And so what do you normally do? Just throw broccoli into something?
Yeah, I eat some Haig's chocolate and then some... I eat some Haig's Chocolate. It's a new product they have. It's like chocolate broccoli.
Well, I like to make...
It's actually not a bad idea.
We do...
healthy chocolate for your kids. Chocolate. Does that exist? Can we look up whether chocolate is actually a thing, Mike? Or whether I have... You can have your fashion range.
Chocolate.
And I'll have chocolate.
Chocolate. This is from Angie. Hey guys, I've been listening to your podcast for several years. They very much helped me get through the COVID lockdowns. You've made so many references that have resonated with me. It is uncanny. I guess I'm sharing the universe with some like-minded peers. Ooh. I have a couple of bones to pick with you, though.
Okay, nice.
Firstly, you talked about Daniel Day-Lewis films, but failed to mention The Age of Innocence. This was a far superior film to Gangs of New York, which was a hot mess. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I don't know if I have seen it or not. I don't think I have. Winona Ryder, right?
Yeah, that's why I saw it.
It was over-stylized and completely miscast. Mm-hmm. As a homage to New York, The Age of Innocence is an infinitely superior film, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Secondly, why have you only reviewed sweet biscuits on Crack That Pack? I avoid sugary treats, but I'm a sucker for savory ones. Just a suggestion. I believe we did barbecue shapes.
Yeah, we did.
In one episode. I don't know why we...
well, there's just not a huge range of savoury biscuits.
Isn't there?
Like what? Oh, do you mean like a Jats cracker or
crackers
like
and stuff? Yeah, a whole bunch of crackers. I just think it's as interesting. I think the variation between sweet biscuits is larger than savoury crackers.
It's Crack That Pack, not Crack That Cracker.
I mean, I guess that works. I guess that's a good shutdown. Well done.
You got it.
Yeah, take that. This is from Jeremiah. Speaking of everyone relax wear.
Yeah. How did I go with chocolate, Mark, by the way? Is chocolate a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Is it a branded thing or is it like
No, it's a pretty niche sort of people experimenting with
chocolate.
We haven't had someone start an email like this for a while. 2:FOP.
Oh, nice. Old school.
Old school. Yeah. As a long-time listener, you didn't even need to say that.
Nice.
I'm not a medical professional. The only TOFOP merch I have are Fosdike's T-shirts. I would kill some of those fridge magnets. Oh, they're around somewhere. That's something we could give away to a letter writer. They're in storage.
As for chance?
Yeah. So I love this idea of everyone relax wear.
Okay, great. Oh, okay.
You mentioned the one-off potential, and it gave me hope for a potential joint venture with Mick Malloy.
Oh.
Why? What's he doing? Is he doing Relax Word?
Maybe.
Is that a clothing brand?
I don't know.
All right. Will, when you were on The Breakfast, I remember Mick mentioning his idea for a loungewear line based on his activity over the weekend. I believe he called it the 46 steps. It was the amount of steps he'd taken that day. Do you remember this?
I do. So one day on his step counter on his phone, he'd taken 46 steps, which he worked out was the distance between his couch and the fridge and the toilet.
Yeah, that's right.
I do remember that actually.
Think of all the collaborations you can have that contribute to one-offs. Not everything has to be a full line. I would love a hat from the live dollop you guys did or the live shows with Gareth. Fosdyke for days.
It's a good point, actually. Like, I think that's how we'd have to start anyway, with like specialist, topics and collaborations. I don't mind the idea of a collaboration.
Yeah, I mean that's because kind of what Thrills partnered up with Hard Yakka and sort of repurposed. We'd find a dormant
and Cheezels.
Yes, a dormant brand.
Yes, or just like another, like I said, a collaboration with somebody who's already got a product in the market. That's what the big companies normally do, right? You have that like one brand meets another brand and you combine them together.
Yeah, that's right. It's like what do you call it? A mashup.
Yeah, so maybe we put out like a range of our leisure wear that has like a handy pocket for an Abby Chatfield vibrator or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like a collab.
Yeah, okay. I can see the value that she brings to us. What do we bring to her?
Somewhere to keep your vibrator. Like holsters, and that's what I'm kind of imagining. You could have like one in each hole,
I do love vibrator holsters.
Yes, right.
For the quick draw.
Just, exactly.
Yeah, all right.
Whenever you need.
Okay, this is from Maria, cucumber therapy
Okay.
episode. That was where I sat next to the therapist eating the whole cucumbers.
Yeah, I remember.
But she wants to talk about Stanley Cups. My daughter is all about that Stanley drinking cup.
Yeah.
She's always seen with it. Unless she's doing something where there is a concern about the fact that it can spill, and then she uses a water bottle where the lid fully seals. What I have found is a brand called Simple Modern that makes the same style of big drinking cup, but in a slightly smaller size. Simple Modern version keeps my drink super cold and also holds hot liquids and is completely waterproof, even with the straw in it. The only way to make it spill is to hold it fully upside down, causing the water to come out through the straw itself.
Oh, yeah.
I highly recommend it. I feel like I like it so much that I already own a couple of styles, one with a handle and one without. And regarding Carhartt coming back as something people are wearing for style instead of just functionality, I've recently noticed a lot of people suddenly wearing Carhartt coats and hats. It was storming last week, so I was wearing my heavy Carhartt jacket. A young woman at the grocery store at the checkout was so excited by the color of my jacket. She'd never seen a Carhartt jacket in that color before. I had to break it to her that my jacket was 15 years old.
That's why it was that color.
So I genuinely doubt she would see one the same color. I thought we established, though, that Carhartt, that's been popular for ages. Right?
Nah, but it's back now in a massively trendy way. Like it seems, and like in that way that something that was like secondhand fashion, I think, like that's where it became popular again, has now become brand new. Carhartt is like everywhere in fashion shops, but also like I've just seen it everywhere. And I think it looks ugly. Am I wrong? But I actually think it looks really ugly. Unless Carhartt want to sponsor the podcast, in which case Charlie will absolutely endorse it.
Absolutely.
Charlie, just when you said that thing about the cup tipping over, I just noticed Will had like a visible reaction where I felt he got defensive.
Yeah, he did. I
Stanley
felt that
Cup.
too.
Did you
Well,
feel
I don't
that?
feel-
And it's like if someone's saying that his cup is better than his cup, and then it's almost like you wanted to just immediately pick your cup up and just.
Well, I'm just like, how do you tip it over where like water doesn't come out? Water doesn't come out of this.
No, she's saying it doesn't come out of the edges. She said it just comes out of the straw. Do you want to? Have you got
Well,
water in
doesn't
that?
come,
Let's
yeah, but
test
it doesn't. No, it doesn't come out of the edges there either.
No, get all the way over.
Keep
No,
going.
because it's a straw.
Well, let's just see what happens. Go to. Oh, so it's coming out the edges. It's coming out the edges.
No, it's not.
It
Look.
fucking came out of the edges. Everyone
at
saw
that.
that. We've got cameras, mate.
Yeah, but mate, that's around. But look, that's pretty.
Yeah.
No, it's
Okay.
dripping. It's definitely not coming from the straw.
A tiny bit. I mean, but who's doing that? Why am I turning my cup entirely upside down anyway?
It's case when you're in 0G and you need to get a drink.
All right.
Okay, this is from.
It's a nice to have.
the option, the unnecessary option.
We love a suggestion for Crack That Pack.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll be getting to our this week's Crack That Pack soon. This is from Sonia, who says, she's opened with another 2:FOP. I feel like we're getting a bit retro.
nice.
Maybe that's coming back.
Okay.
2:FOP.
Good.
After
I like
hearing
it.
a few weeks of Arnott's reviews, I am suddenly compelled to submit a vote for Arnott's chocolate Scotch fingers to be featured in a future Crack That
The
Pack.
chocolate-coated Scotch
Yes.
fingers.
Yeah,
Have we
that's
not
right.
done those?
No, we've done no. And they are,
Interesting. They've come up a bunch of times.
big
but
fa-
we've
I'm a
never-
big fan.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
They
a
are-
lot.
I've been waiting for this because
Yeah.
they're my favorite, and only I think Aldi might have an exclusive deal because I've looked for them in other shops, but I can only find them in Aldi. They're amazing.
Well, here's what I am going to say. I believe that today's Crack That Pack, because I've tasted today's Crack That Pack previously, and I feel like they are in the style of, you will notice similarities in the flavor profile between today's Crack That Pack and your chocolate-coated Scotch finger.
There's a little bit of sizzle
Yeah.
for this
Great
week's Crack
news.
That Pack.
Yeah.
Sonia continues, there's something about the perfect balance between sweet and savoury, mixed textures, the slight flair of the Scotch finger biscuit makes it heavenly. The addition of the chocolate layer takes a basic Scotch finger and simply elevates it to a whole new level. To me, it is an S-tier biscuit for sure, leagues above the C-tier average Arnott's biscuits. It's both great from the pantry and in the fridge. What else can I say? The only thing that would make it better is if they did a dark chocolate version.
Oh, yeah.
If you could pull some strings with Arnott's on the back of the wildly successful segment that is Crack That Pack,
we are biscuit influencers now, I would have thought.
I would think so. And if not, all good. Okay, I mean, that was quite a build-up.
And if not, all good. Thank you.
Hopefully Crack That Pack review will at least help. I mean,
Dark chocolate, I'd like to see, I'd try a caramel or a white chocolate even maybe.
I like it a lot, but I find that it's like one and done. I don't think you can't go through, I couldn't go through a pack of,
That's why I like it, but
right, because you feel,
Because you want to be one and done. You're like, that's enough.
satiated. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. There is something about fucking destroying a pack of biscuits that I really, really
Okay.
like.
All right.
Like when I'm feeling really indulgent. We got time. How much time? Have we got time for one more letter before we get to Crack That Pack? How long are we done? Okay. All right. Is that to nod to say keep padding?
yeah,
Or
go
is that-
for it. 46 minutes.
Okay, great. We'll do one more.
Okay.
Okay. This is from Tim.
Okay, Tim.
He said, first time, long time. I just downloaded DeepSeek, which is the Chinese AI system.
Oh.
My first question was, what band did Charlie Clausen see that didn't play their biggest hit? He mentions it on the podcast TOFOP. Do you know?
Counting Crows.
Correct. The answer from DeepSeek says, Charlie Clausen, an Australian actor known for his role in Home and Away, mentioned on TOFOP, which stands for Throwing Our Friends Under the Pontoon. Like, we don't have a U. Like, it's not TOFOP. Throwing our
That's your issue with it? Not throwing our friends under the pontoon?
Throwing Our Friends Under the Pontoon podcast
Yeah.
that he saw the band Crowded House live and they didn't play their biggest hit, Don't Dream It's Over. This anecdote is often cited as a humorous or frustrating experience for fans who often attend concerts to hear a band's most famous song.
If you don't know, just make it up.
I mean,
artificial intelligence. Artificial bullshit artist.
yeah, that's not even close.
No. I have seen Crowded House live. I saw them at Blues Fest a couple of years ago.
They
I
always,
cannot
and also they
remember.
always play Don't Dream It's Over.
I guess they would. It's one of their biggest hits.
Yeah. They give the crowd what they want. Don't Dream It's Over, as opposed to Counting Crows, who apparently can't play Mr. Jones,
The thing about
the song that made you famous, the one thing that everybody's come to have a listen to. Oh, yeah, I get it. You're the Rain King. But let's tell us a little story about Mr. Jones. Thank you. What did you and Mr. Jones get up to? Come on.
this DeepSeek thing, I had to play around with it. It's everyone said it's like, oh, it's so much better and it's so much faster. I didn't notice a significant difference with that and ChatGPT. I mean,
Never used either, never will.
Okay, never will.
Well, I probably will be forced to.
At some point,
I'm already noticing
You might be using things that are
my
powered by-
emails and stuff are being summarized and etc. in a very unconvincing and unhelpful way has been what I've noticed so far. The one that is on my phone that is summarizing people's text messages is not really getting the gist of how me and my friends communicate with each other. The summaries do not give much of an indication of the whole.
The one on Riverside is the one that like blows my mind the most, because that within minutes will do show notes, chapter breakdown, tell you what each part of the podcast is referring to. And often I'll read that and go, what? That doesn't know. Like, were you listening AI, or do you think AI is like started just watching the football on its phone or something? Just tuned out. Something
talking about biscuits.
Or I think it's throw your friends under the pontoon.
Something pontoon related.
Like, it must have. We know for a fact that when you put TOFO into Google, we are the first thing that comes up.
I mean, but also 30 odd foot of probably should be at least TOFO.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you're either going like Russell Crowe's band or our podcast. You would have thought that those first letters won't stand for anything other than, at least if you get to TOFO, it's 30 odd foot of. Right?
Yeah, totally. All right. Thank you for writing in, everyone who did. Go to everyonerelax.co. There's a contact form there. You can also write in if you want to send us an email about the football, because Two Guys One Cup is back.
That's true.
Every Monday, Will and I was going to say like analysing the round. We don't.
Two guys won Stanley Cup. No, in fact, if anything, we are not going to analyse the round, because there are 18 thousand professional football shows out there, and they all cover all the issues and blah, blah, blah. We just cover whatever nonsense that we think is funny, and we just lean into that.
I think it is a show, if you kind of like this and have only vaguely aware of sport, I think you'll enjoy it. I think it is a sports podcast for people who aren't into sport.
Yeah, which is not a great marketing push, but it is one of those things of, I think if you're...
I used to tag our like clips with listener sport, and then they never reposted. And I was like, what's going on here?
They're like, we don't consider you to be
No.
You're
You
not
aren't
a
real.
sports podcast.
It's like a chiropractor turning up to a medical conference.
They're
and
like,
everyone's
oh, yeah. Hello, doctor.
Just because you say it doesn't mean it's true.
The proof that you guys can do that is in round one, when there was only a couple of games. It sounded like a normal episode.
Oh, yeah,
that's
totally.
right.
That's the proof. That's your proof. That you didn't even need the football.
I know. I did notice that with other podcasts. Their round one ones were really short, and ours was like, yep, the normal length. We talk for an hour, regardless of what's happening. Regardless. I hadn't seen any of the games. I think last season I didn't see about 3/4 of the games. It was fine.
Well, there was. To be fair, there was a 20-minute breakdown about the ad, the Fox.
Oh, yeah. Which got pulled too.
Yeah, the ad has been pulled.
Yeah,
right.
that was crazy. So, lots of great stuff there for footy fans and non-footy fans alike. Willosophy every Thursday.
Yes.
You can check
and
that out.
we've been doing some special episodes as well.
And Will has, like, to look at the schedule, the amount of recorded episodes, like you've been going on a tear, chatting to some very cool people.
Yeah, well, because of my live touring, comedy.com.au, if you want to come and see me live, please do that. But we've had to bulk record a whole bunch of episodes, which means that we know we've already got guaranteed a whole bunch of really cool guests on the podcast. So, just keep, like, I think they like us to ask people to follow the feed. So if you don't follow Everyone Relaxes the feed, maybe you just drop in to see a podcast, follow it. That's really helpful. And I know I'm the last person who wants to support, feeding the algorithm and et cetera, but it helps us very much if you share the podcast or like the clips when they go up. If you are already in those places and you see something where you can like, rate, review, etc., do all those sort of things. That is helpful to us.
All right, it's time for...
Crack that pack.
Now, Will, you teased this earlier, and this was actually your selection.
It was.
So why don't you tell the people what we're cracking?
Well, you're going to crack a Nutella biscuit. So you're familiar with Nutella.
How could you go wrong? Name me one thing that's worse once you add Nutella to it.
Well, crunchy biscuits with a creamy heart of Nutella. It's not a filling, Charlie.
I've got a thick skin, a Nutella heart.
It's a Nutella heart.
Sorry, Sia. Apologies.
Can't get started. Nutella heart. Biscuits filled with hazelnut spread with cocoa. There's no particular big spiel.
No selfish?
Again, they seem to like.
So they haven't partnered up with a famous Biscoff style biscuit brand. They're like, this is our biscuit. We For years we've been crushing nuts and mixing them with sugar. But we've
you know what these
decided-
are? They're Nutella biscuits.
Yeah, okay.
They tell you on the pack what they are, Charlie.
Right.
Now, they're small.
Oh, that's weird. So it's like a sealed biscuit. It's like a little biscuit, Nutella surprise.
It is. And so it's almost like a little Nutella pie or something that they have, a little badge.
I can imagine wearing this on like an overcoat.
And it does have,
overcoat.
I think you might notice, a little love heart on it.
It does. It smells amazing.
That is the heart. It's got a little N on it. The heart in the middle.
Hazelnut has got to be one of the most appealing. Vanilla and hazelnut, I think, are two of the most appealing smells. That smells fantastic.
So a pretty traditional biscuit, and then filled with a Nutella center is the idea of what.
I got to say, I'm pretty excited about this.
Okay.
It actually looks handmade. It looks small batch.
It looks handmade. I can't imagine that it is handmade, but it certainly has.
It seems
the
rustic. Like if you were in like Italy, or something, and you were,
and this was like a traditional,
and you got
biscuit
an
in a
espresso,
bakery,
they'd be
you'd be like, oh, this is nice. They hand,
bueno.
And they stamp them with a little,
yeah. All right, let me have a crack.
Okay, Charlie's taking a crack of it now. So what we're going to obviously discover is, whether he likes the consistency. Oh no, he just jammed it all on his face as quick as it could possibly get in there. So I feel like that's a pretty solid review. He lingered, he tasted the first bit. This is a great episode. If you want to see the video of the episodes, you got to go to the patreon.com, everyone relax, because Charlie has nibbled the first bit like he was tasting a cheese or sampling something. And then you jammed in the second half like you were scared someone was going to take it out of your hand.
I almost gagged myself. I shoved it that far down my throat. I got tears in my eyes.
Okay. All right. You can give your thoughts while I have some.
That is delicious. Like I said, you can't really go wrong with Nutella. And I think the discipline that Nutella has shown with this biscuit is let's not make the biscuit too sweet. Everyone's here for the Nutella. Let's be honest, right? You don't want an opening act that is going to upstage the headliner. And I think that is a perfect combination of slightly starchy, not too sweet biscuit. And it's also a disciplined amount of Nutella. Sometimes even when you go to those fancy bakeries like the Cookie Factory or whatever it's called in South Melbourne Market, too much gooey chocolate in the middle and it overpowers the biscuit. I think that is a perfect combination. So Moorish. In fact, I'm going to get a second. That's a really good biscuit. I can't believe I haven't had one to this point, but I mean, I'd be so happy with that. If anyone, I'm going to give that an A.
Oh, it's an A.
It's definitely
for sure.
But Nutella is an unfair advantage. It's almost like
I understand what you're saying, but it could have gone so wrong, and it so often goes wrong. Like people think that Nutella is enough. Like you said, often you'll go in for a fancy cookie and they've just filled it up with Nutella and they think that's going to do the job. But actually, Nutella can be too overwhelming if you add other sugary things. And I think the genius of this is exactly as you said. It's the original Odd Couple.
Yeah.
It's sweet and creamy and dry and starchy together again. It's the contrast.
And the biscuits are all misshapen too. Like that one doesn't actually look like the last one I had. So everyone is an individual delight.
It does feel individual. It has, this is what I like. And I also enjoy, they come in a little, what do you call that? Like the one
sealed bag.
Sealed bag. So there's that the idea that you actually can seal them back up again and put them in the cupboard.
It's bullshit. Who is resealing that bag once they open it?
I must admit that I think that you would find once you've had your third one that you would be like, that's enough for me today. Because there is what I think is quite amazing is that the biscuit is dry on the outside. I think this is part of what they've done by sealing it instead of leaving it open, is that they've done something with the Nutella that means it's still quite gooey. Soft and gooey, and it kind of runs it because you think that it would be dry and hardened, but it isn't at all. They've just managed to keep it in a way that's so satisfying to bite it because the Nutella then kind of oozes out of it, but not so much that it would get it. That it doesn't. It's got structural integrity. The biscuits are well constructed.
Thank God we did that appeal to the engineers in the audience because they're like, hey, listen to that podcast. They talk about structural integrity. Oh, what, of skyscrapers?
But it doesn't fall apart in your hand in a way that you can,
You're right. It's texturally perfect because you bite it. It's gooey enough that it has a nice feel to it, but it doesn't run out of the biscuit.
The biscuit crumbles, but it doesn't fall on you. It's not like you're going to spill it on yourself. You could easily Yeah,
That's
that is a really good biscuit.
An amazing biscuit.
Yeah,
and I'm loath to endorse the big brands. Because I'm such an anti-capitalist.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, no, I think that as you said, it's a good start. The good people at Ferrero know what they're doing, and Nutella is a quality.
Ferrero Rocher and Nutella related.
Yeah, I mean, a Ferrero Rocher is just full of Nutella, basically. So
I had no idea that they were cousins, but it makes sense.
They know what they're doing. They understand that, like, simple.
What's the health rating on it? Is there a health rating?
Health rating. Well, it says you should keep them between 18 degrees and 24 degrees.
Okay.
Is what they recommend.
This studio is like -6. So I think it's...
Okay, so this is interesting. There is an Australian distributor, but they are made in Italy.
Okay.
So this is, I mean, this makes a lot of sense to me. This has all the design
of a fancy
qualities of the Italians, right?
Yes.
This is this care.
It's about the experience,
but also the beauty, like the simplicity of this is very Italian to me. This makes a lot of sense.
Health rating down the front here.
Oh yeah, okay.
There's a energy 200. This is a DI index. I don't know what that stands for. Anyway, sure, it's not good for you. That's a good bicky. Good way to finish, I think. That's a good episode. A good way to finish. So happy that we got to the end of the episode without having to eat one of those cornflake.
Cole's finest.
Cole's cornflake finest. That has haunted me since last week. I had poor Mike after the last episode was in here on hands and knees cleaning up the cornflakes that I crushed into the studio carpet in disgust. But thank you so much to everyone who's listened to the show and stuck with this and supported us on Patreon. If you can't do that, if you can't support us financially, hey, listen to the episodes.
Spread the word.
Spread the word. Let people know. Get those algorithms. Listen to the ads at the start at least, so when listeners look at who's listening to our ads, they know that you guys have been doing it. That helps us as well.
All those things.
All those things. And we'll be back again next week. I'm Charlie Clausen.
I'm Will Anderson.
Everyone relax!